Okay, hi, my name is Paul Merrill. I'll be talking about overtone singing of Tuva and Mongolia. Um, Tuva and Mongolia are in kind of in the middle of Asia, between China and Russia, Siberia area. Overtone singing, also known as overtone chanting or harmonic singing, originated from southwestern Mongolia in today's Khabad and Gobi Altai region. Um, Tuva is one of the most famous areas in the world right now for hearing throat singing, but it's still very common all throughout Mongolia, and even in the Altai Republic to the west and Khakassia to the northwest, as well as in Tibet. But Tibet is different. It uses mostly just Tibetan Buddhist chanting, where they use mostly just the very low pitches in capable in throat singing. Let's get familiar with some of the instruments used in throat singing. Probably the most common instrument by far in tuba is the igil. In Mongolia, they call it ikil. It's similar to the Mongolian morinkhur, but it's not the same thing. Uh, in English, the morinkhur and igil would be called more like the horsehead fiddle, because as you can see, most of them have horses' heads carved on the top. You'll find horses are a very common theme in Mongolian music, play a big part in their culture, and so they're featured very prominently throughout their stuff. You'll notice the Mongolian morinkhur is a little bit different than the Tuvan igil. The shape here is different. This one's more of a teardrop shape. This one's much more square. But they sound basically the same, with the Mongolian morinkhur being a little louder. You'll see these resonance holes here on the side. Those are sort of a modern innovation within the last 100 years or so. Here's the ikhur, which is a horse head bass. It's sort of just a giant version of the morinkhur. You also see this. It's called everbure. It's sort of like an oboe. And then the drum here, kengirge. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. It's a traditional drum. They put this thing on top here. These little bells, so that when they hit it, it sounds like a horse at a gallop, because they traditionally tied bells to the horse's head or neck. This is called a bazanchi, a four-string instrument related to Chinese huqin or huqin. I'm not sure how to say that. The name is derived from the word for calf. It's because they say the instrument milks out the music, which is actually quite a beautiful instrument. You can see they also use a Jew's harp, and the chanzi or Tuvan lute has three strings. That's also common. You'll see again the horse head. So what is throat singing and what is an overtone? Throat singing is a type of singing in which the singer manipulates the resonances or formants created as air travels from the lungs past the vocal folds and out the lips to produce a melody. They produce the main note here in the throat, and they use the shape of their mouth as the sound passes to create resonances that, when it comes out, creates a sort of a ghost note. This is the technical jargon, I guess, for it. I found it on Wikipedia, but because of the speed of my computer, I won't have time to go into that, or I'll go over time. There are three main techniques that we're going to go into for the throat singing, most commonly referred to as khume or khume. And I just want to note right now, it's very common in Mongolian and Tuvan music to make animal sound imitations, birds, horses, that kind of thing, throughout the music. And we'll hear three styles of techniques and some of their subgenres. I'll try and get through it as quickly as I can. Again, as I said, my computer is very slow, and so it's going to take some time for these videos to load. But I'll try and keep informing you as we go along here. Um, so here we go with the first one. We'll get into depth about their names a little bit later. Okay, that's all the same style. And there's the overtones. Okay, and this is a little bit different. You can hear it's kind of whistling. And there's the very deep notes, deep singing, deep throat singing. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. Okay, so the first style, Home, is an actual technique, but it is sort of used as a blanket term to cover throat singing in these regions, especially in Outer Mongolia. It is by far the most popular style of throat singing in Tuva and Mongolian music. It's sort of a medium difficulty as far as it goes. The voice range is sort of in the middle. In this style, usually 2 or 3 harmonics can be heard between 1 and 2 octaves above the basic note, or the the drone. Pitch is manipulated through a combination of lip and throat movement, like manipulating vowels, a, e, I, o, u. I guess it's more like a, I, a, o, u, and moving the tongue or jaw. And this is supposed to give the impression of wind swirling among rocks. You'll find that they most often sing this kind of music outside in the open terrain. This is kind of how they believe it was evolved, was from listening to sounds of nature and trying to imitate the sounds that they heard in this open expanse country, or country of open expanse, I guess I should say. And there's the horsehead fiddle. Let's get into the singing part. Well, I guess he's got a swan's head on the top of that, but that's uncommon. Okay, and you get the idea for that one. The next style is called Sigit. It's sort of a mid-range main note character by flute-like or piercing harmonics, reminiscent of whistling. I think you heard that in the second one with the first video that we heard, and it's the pitch is manipulated the same way as the Hume style, and we'll get a sample of that. This is often used to imitate bird songs, bird calls, that kind of thing. This group is called Alash. They're kind of an up-and-coming popular group in Tuvan music. And there he is using the lute. Okay, and you can hear the way he manipulates the sound. It's really quite beautiful, the whole thing. The last one we're going to talk about is called kirgra. It's the deep, really low sounding style of throat singing, and it's really impressive to listen to. This is the one that the Tibetan Buddhists use in their chants quite often, and we're gonna just listen to some of that right now. Really impressive stuff. This guy, I wish I could show you the whole video, but I don't think I think I'm gonna run out of time. But he plays very well and he sings very well. Okay, we'll fast forward a little bit to get to the singing. Here we go. Wow, it blows me away every time I hear that. And here's an example of the horsehead fiddle playing. Okay, and you can hear the rhythm of the beats of the horse's hooves in that song, and the neighing at the end. Like I said, they imitate animal sounds a lot in the music. It's just beautiful, and the way he plays is amazing. I wish you could hear the whole thing. Well, that's my presentation. That's pretty much all I have to tell you about this, and I hope you enjoyed what I had to tell you. And I hope you'll continue to look up the Mongolian throat singing music genre. Thank you.